This is like a little planetary Moonoply scenario. It's something that can help you understand on a big scale, but using a little comparison for people to understand literally what our life circle is. Now, you can play Monopoly, the game Monopoly, and no matter what you do, there's a certain stack of cards, there's different character emojis, there are 2 dice, and you go around the board in a square. It's not just a circle, it's a square. And what do? If you roll the dice, sometimes you land on a card. Those are the cool ones because you get some kind of chance. An event happens there, You've already picked your icon or your avatar for this game of Monopoly. Now, instead of going around the globe, you're more into another dimension, which is more square. So you're now on cue as a subject. And you're going around this square board on Monopoly, and no matter what you do, you're going to roll different dice combinations. You're going to maybe pick up different cards in different orders and a whole bunch of different patterns. But you're going to roll different combinations. You're going to go around the same board. Same names of the places. Same names of the faces. Same names of the cards. Eventually, you're going to go through them all. Well, in a spiritual way, much, much, much bigger. The cards are the events. The rolls of the dice are the birthdays, the dates, and the calendar stuff that we do, like the time, everything like that. That's what the dice are. But the dice are usually set in some ways, like the time. That's one dimension. But that's sort of 4 or 5 dimension. It's between how we cognitize what's going on and what's happening in place where you are. So it's like the 4 or 5 dimension. But I know people don't understand that stuff, so I'm not trying to really say it like that, but I need to explain that this is really what's happening. So even people who are doing things that seem so heinous, it's just this one lifetime. And I'm not trying to downgrade anything. I just want everyone to understand that we can get over this. It's just going to take a lot of heart and soul searching for people who have done horrible things. Believe me, I've done horrible things, and I could tell you about everybody's. But I won't do that, and I shouldn't do that. And it's, even if I wanted to, I would have to really concentrate on it, and it would use a lot of my energy. I know that sounds silly, but all we are is energy. And you can use up energy by using your power or your exertion in some way. You're thinking, you're acting, you're moving, all that stuff. And spiritual power takes the most. You've got to be in tune. And that's not just something you do because you want to. It's something you do because you work at it. And I know how to do it. I'm the one who created it. At least I remember those memories, so now I can. That's the thing. Is Dan can because I remember them through him. And I remember them as me. And it's weird to say stuff like that. But Monopoly, now, your date of birth is the first roll. After that, your first many years, until whenever you become competent to do anything on your own, are basically picking up a bunch of cards and getting to do things. Yay, this is fun. Yay, this is whatever. And then after school and you start thinking enough to think that this is what life is, you start getting control and rolling your dice. Then, since you're rolling your dice, and now you're picking up your cards, you get to think you're going to certain events, whichever ones you're allowed to, and from that point on, you go through it, and then the houses and the hotels and stuff, that comes as an adult. Either you buy them or you stay at them, or you get rich enough to buy them all. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. This isn't a game of Monopoly. This isn't a game of Moonopoly. What it's supposed to be is exactly what I've been saying for a long time, so I'm not going to go into any real big detail other than breaking that down into game form, only because I want people to understand that's really what's happening. That's the circle of karma, but it's just the square of Monopoly. If you want to say it a little more where people can understand it a little better, instead of making it sound too woo-woo and spiritual, although it is spiritual. You're spiritual. Everything is. When they understand what these things really mean. Instead of being like, do you think you're spiritual? Because if you don't know this about these people that lived in this time space that we all talk about, then you don't know what spiritual is. They have no clue. They may have understood many teachings of many lifetimes in this one life. And that's the thing that's really hard to get anyone to understand, especially if they're YouTube guru who's been, sucked up by aliens or has experienced billions of alien encounters or, been through horrible war and been through, spiritual enlightenment and through the great Ganesh or through the great, they make up, some names are made up, some are real, and some are like everything ends up coming around in the same math that I'm talking and teaching. And when everyone learns it, you'll be defended against it, and everyone will love each other because they can't not when they understand exactly what's going on. Even the people who were raised wrong because their families raised that way. If you would have started in a family that was farming and you were slaughtering cows and you taught your children to slaughter cows for food, and then people who never did that kind of thing came around and were like, what's wrong with these people? They're killing these animals. Just like basically India and then here, some eat meat, some don't, some worship them. All these different religions like that. Some don't think anything of it. Some of them say slaughter this many cows, slaughter this many goats, slaughter this many lambs, and they don't think nothing of it. And the other ones worship certain animals. The other ones don't worship other animals, and they eat different stuff. These are the same kind of things. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to expand too much, but I'll go off onto that one. And I mean, I can tell you guys anything. It's just, it's simple to me, but because I say it simply, it offends people because they believe so deeply in something and they want to believe so deeply in something. And why not believe that we're all here together not to kill and to stop people who are killing and controlling? And that's all we're supposed to do. And then learn how to teach your offspring and the ones that you bring into this world and the ones that you are around to behave in a well enough manner where they're not harming anybody, and go ahead and have a lovely time with life. Don't tear the world up and don't harm anybody. Is that hard? No, it's not. We just haven't been taught that. We've been told to go, 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 so then we want to get reckless when we have our time because we don't have much time. Or else we always feel like somebody's telling us to do something. So we want to be able to outrage because we're held back. What I'm teaching is freedom. What I'm teaching is spiritual bliss. What I'm teaching is God. I'm the Word of God. You're the Word of God too. It's just I understand a higher level of it. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I have to. I mean, if I don't, then I'd be lying. So, anyways, till next time.